America's favorite pastime is finally returning. After a 99-day lockout by owners, players' reps have voted to accept Major League Baseball's latest offer for a new labor deal, and the season is expected to get underway on April 7th. Joining us now with more are Cheryl Ray Stout, sports contributor at WBEZ Chicago Public Media, and Tim Stebbins, covering the Cubs for NBC Sports Chicago. Thanks to you both for joining us. So, Cheryl, agreement's been reached. What were the biggest sticking points that had to get resolved?
One was luxury tax, as far as elevating it more. And one of the real big ones was the minor leagues, the minimum wage going from $570,000 to $700,000. That's a huge leap. The league has got around 69% of it will be part of that umbrella. So it's going to be really helping those young kids getting the deal that they're worth. It's going to be a 5-year deal. One of the big things is that they're going to play 162 games. So when they start on April 7th, they're going to make up those other games by doing double headers or on the back end. They're going to do that. But they also are going to have 12 teams in the playoffs. There's going to be universal DH. There's several of these moments, but the big thing was the contract for the kids, the younger players, the minimum wage, and also raising the luxury tax. And the one thing that was really kind of a stickler last night going into today was the international draft. They're going to take time from now until July 25th to have talks about getting an international draft taken care of.
And Tim Stebbins, how soon will spring training camps begin?
Buckle up, it's coming. Players can report as soon as Friday, and their mandatory report date is then Sunday. That is excluding players who need to get visas. Obviously, it's a quick turnaround to try to get that done, so they're going to have more leeway in that regard. And from there, we're going to have games in the next week or so. March 13th is the report date, so games would follow sometime in the days after that in the coming week.
Okay, so Cheryl, talk about the free agent frenzy that's about to begin. What is this?
Well, there's several guys that are free agents, and so right now, Tim and I were discussing before we went on the air was there's going to be a lot of signings because the rosters, some of them have been talking before the negotiations before they were locked out. So a lot of things are in place, but now they can actually put pen to paper and get these guys into camp and fill out their rosters. And an interesting thing, by raising the luxury tax, teams will feel that it'll be okay to spend more money. So some of these big agents, like a Chris Bryant, is going to be able to get some money out of this.
So, Tim, one of the biggest points, as Cheryl has mentioned a couple of times, is this luxury tax. Explain how this works and, what the resolution was on that.
Yeah, so baseball, the Players Union has long fought to implement a salary cap, which you see in different North American sports leagues. And the luxury tax, the players have argued, kind of acts as a de facto salary cap. It's kind of disincentivizes teams from spending in a way that the players would argue because it's a set figure, and in 2021 is $210 million. If you go over that figure, you face surcharges and you're taxed on it. So a lot of times you see teams, their player salaries combined, they near that figure, but they don't actually eclipse it. And at the same time, baseball's revenues have really been increasing this century since the last couple collective bargaining agreements, and the spending by teams has not really been in sync with revenues, and therefore player salaries haven't really been in sync with revenues. So by increasing that, as Cheryl alluded to, by increasing that luxury tax threshold, the players, more players, you have more room essentially to spend, because teams are still not going to want to eclipse that figure because of the taxes that come with it. But now, if it's 20 million more, maybe you're incentivized to get that one extra big player, sign that one big extra contract, and boost your team in that regard.
And Tim, give us a quick reminder. How did we get here to begin with?
It's been years in the making. Even we saw back in 2020 when COVID-19 unfortunately hit and upended, not just the sports world, obviously, within the entire world, but they were negotiating to return to play in 2020, and they couldn't agree to terms even for that at a time where the world and the country, what have you, they needed baseball and sports more than ever. So there's been long brewing animosity between these two sides. The last two collective bargaining agreements before this new one, the players, frankly, they got beat pretty bad in it, and they wanted to make up some of those gains. And It hasn't really been something that, this 99-day period, it's been something years in the making that kind of boiled over here. And that's why you saw it took almost 100 days to get a resolution on this.
And quickly before we go, I'm going to ask you both this, starting with you, Cheryl. Your Sox Cubs expectations for 2022. What's happening?
Well, the White Sox have a lot of positive things going for them, but they do need to fill in some blanks. They just have to address their right field situation. They have to address their second base and really probably nail down a starting pitcher. The Cubs have a lot of young players, and they have to do a lot more work. They have to decide. They did get some free agent pitchers before the lockout, so they're good there. But they really need to figure out their roster as far as a lot of areas. Center field is one. They really need to do that.
Tim, same question to you in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief. The White Sox, as constructed, are a contender to make it to the World Series. And if not that, some people think just one or two more players can put them over the top. The Cubs, we know they traded away all those core pieces last summer, so they're in a bit of a transition period. They made a couple of additions before the lockout, and depending on what they do after this, with they expanded the playoffs in this new agreement, they could be in the thick of trying to get one of those last playoff spots, depending on which moves they make from here.
All right. In the meantime, I'm sure a lot of fans are thankful that now they can start buying those tickets rather than waiting to see what happens. Our thanks to Tim Stebbins and Cheryl Raced Out for joining us.